How y'all doing? It's No Bennett back at you today. Today I'm going to discuss escape. I'm going to talk about two escapes I knew about during my time, right? I'm going to start with the first one, the county jail, when I was down at the county jail. Later on in the content, I'm going to get to the big escape from the prison that I knew about, right? So we're going to start with down at the county jail. I got busted for 8, 9 robberies I did around my town, right? 85%. I was facing a life sentence anyway. I got sent down to the county jail. I don't know what's going on, what to expect, anything like that. But I knew a dude down there, one of my guys, and one of his guys was in a different tank. They got 10-man tanks, they got 8-man tanks, they got 2-man tanks, shit like that. They sent me to a 10-man tank, right? That's where these two dudes were at. Well, when I get in there, they got a fucking blanket hanging up over the cell door and shit like that. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what they were doing in there, you know. I didn't want to fucking know what they were doing in there, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, they end up fucking letting me in on what they were doing, telling me they're gonna escape. One dude's facing natural life. From selling cocaine. He's got semis full of cocaine he's selling and shit, facing natural life, never getting out again. Other dude's got 50 years or life sentence, facing life sentence, some shit like that. I really don't know. I really didn't know the two dudes, right? But I'm facing 20 years, 85%, or 80 years, 85%, whatever. So their plan was to escape. Okay, he had his daughter. The dude facing natural life had his daughter bringing down these legal notepads, yellow notepads with the cardboard on the top. Well, she was hollowing out that cardboard, putting hacksaw blades in there, right? Then dropping the paper off down there at the county jail. You know what I'm saying? With the hacksaw blades in there and shit. So these dudes could try to saw out. Their plan was fucking. They got the bars right there. Okay, you got a 10-man tank. We got the COs can walk by the bars on the catwalk right there, to look in and see everybody, check on people so they ain't committing suicide or beating people down or doing crazy shit in there, right? So there's 10 dudes in there, pedophiles, fucking rapists, whatever the fuck's in there. You know what I'm saying? Rats, shit like that. So the plan was to saw through these bars. Every section of bars got a piece of steel. Every couple feet, piece of steel, couple feet, piece of steel, couple feet, piece of steel. Well, the plan was I was going to saw through these bars and saw a piece of that steel off and use it as a pry bar because there's a window right there. There's a window right by the catwalk where the guards come by. So if you can get through these bars, you could use that bar to pop that window. That was their plan. They got 10, 8 sheets to hang down the motherfucking wall to get out of there. And the plan was, if they make it out of there, dude, natural life's gonna take care of the other dude. You know what I'm saying? So that was their plan. So the daughter's bringing down these hacksaw blades and shit, and the pads of paper. So they're one dude's sawing, one dude's watching out the window and shit. It's loud as fuck. Like I said, there's 10, 8 dudes in there. You know what I mean? Like, they're hearing the shit. They're sawing through the bar. He's sawing through the bars, sawing through the bars, trying to get through the bars. We couldn't get through one spot, so he goes to another spot. He's sawing through those bars, right? Sawing through those bars. Well, they're smart when they made the jail, right? When they made the jail cells, because inside those bars, once you saw through that bar, there's another bar inside of there that spins. Okay, it spins. So when you cut through the bar, you cannot go to the other side because you hit that bar in the middle and it just spins your blade, spins your blade. So he cut through 2, 3, 4 places, but he couldn't get through because that bar wouldn't let them. They're pretty smart putting that bar in the middle of there. You know what I'm saying? So then they had the daughter bring down a diamond cutter blade. They're hoping the diamond cutter blade would get through and catch onto that fucking bar inside of there, right? So, like I said, one dude's watching, one dude's sawing, loud as a motherfucker. He sawed through 3 or 4 places, right? Trying to get out. He can't get out because that bar in the middle of there and shit, right? It was fucking crazy, man. It was front page newspaper, front page news. It had like black dots, like where he sawed at and shit. It was all over the news and shit, the newspaper. I already left prison. They sent me to prison to do my time while they were doing this shit, right? And hearing later they got popped off. One of my boy that sent me to that tank told me they got popped off because some rats, pedophiles, whoever the fuck in that tank fucking ratted on them. Well, it's not hard to figure out. It's loud as fuck. They're sawing like a motherfucker, but I guess they wanted to get the fuck out of there, so that's what they were doing, right? They ended up getting popped off and getting 5 years at the end of their time, 5 federal at the end of their state time for that attempted escape shit. It was all in the newspaper and shit. I seen the newspaper on the news and shit. And I was like, what the fuck, man? You know what I mean? It was crazy. But anyway, the big escape, I was already in prison. I went to prison, and like 6, 7 years into my time, is these 2 lifer dudes. I knew them through business and shit like that or whatever, but when motherfuckers are gonna escape, it's on the hush hush, quiet, quiet. They don't want no one knowing that shit unless you're a top dog or shit like that. You don't know the information or what's really going on, right? So, I ended up finding out. They ended up telling me about what was going on and shit like that, which I really didn't want to know, but that's on them in case something happens or somebody snitches or they get busted or fuck someone gets killed. I don't want to know about that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's on them. So I kind of really didn't pay attention to this shit, what they're doing or everything, but their plan was fucking back by the shower. Okay, first when you walk in the cell house, there's where the CO station where he sits. Behind him is a shower, and there's a window. Old time window, old time bricks and shit from the 1800. Well, there's enough room to go up the wall for a body. Say that whatever size to get up that wall to the next floor where it's vacant right there. Well, that wall there goes out to the fucking streets. So they were climbing up there in the daytime, digging and drilling at that wall, that old concrete to get through there. And they come down, go back outside, go back to the cell, whatever, after the shower, which was a good fucking, really good plan. But they must have told the wrong people, you know what I'm saying? Because, in the end, they end up getting fucking burned up for the shit. But so they're sawing through. They're drilling through. They're chipping away every day at the shower back there. You know what I'm saying? Going up there like that. Well, my boy goes over to the cell because they need a place to hide some shit, right? To hide, they got a zip gun. They got a zip gun made, 22 shell bullets. Dude down at the furniture shop made a zip gun out of the metal and shit. And they got bullets in through the visit, or 22 shell bullets and shit like that, right? Anyway, they need a place to hide all this shit, right? Maps and fucking whatever the hell they got going on, right? So my boy goes over to the cell. They got a cockboard in the cell, square cockboard where you put your pictures on there and shit, right? Well, they got a bright idea. They took the fucking cockboard off the wall. My boy fucking boom, boom, bust one of them cinder blocks out. So they can reach down, go down inside there, right? They can put all their shit down in there, right? And put the cockboard back on, put the caulk around it. You get a fucking shakedown, the cops ain't ever gonna fucking take that picture board off the wall because it's caulked on there. They don't think nothing of that. The regular COs, they're dumb as a motherfucker, right? They don't know what's going on. So anyway, it's right there in plain sight. So my boy goes over there and fucking, he works in the maintenance shop, so you can get the tools. You can take sledgehammers, fucking go fix toilets, do all kinds of shit. So he goes over there and fucking busts a big ass fucking hole in the wall. Now they got their gun in there, their zip gun in there, their bullets in there. They got a fucking map in there. They got directions and shit, step by step what they're gonna do. I don't know why they fucking did that shit. They're gonna do this. Who's ever on fucking duty that night, they're gonna kill that fucking dude. I mean, they had it fucking all written down. I mean, I don't know why you do that, but that's what they did, right? So, dude, they got all their shit in there. I'm running the yard, doing my shit on the yard. I got my money, I got watches. One of the lifer dudes with him, was like, hey man, we hold your shit, dog. I got a good spot to hold your shit, some of your shit, your money and your watches and shit like that. Cause I'm hustling. I got all the fucking watches on the yard, all the chains. I got necklaces. I got fucking money, all that shit, right? So dude's like, hey, I'm gonna hold some of your shit for you, dog. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right. Well, I didn't know he was taking it and putting the fucking in the hole in the wall where all his escape shit was at. I had no idea he was doing that shit. Well, anyway, fucking somebody ended up telling on the whole fucking escape plan, right? So they raid the cell, take the fucking cockboard off the wall, fucking, they find the gun, the fucking my money, the watches, the jewelry, all kinds of shit's in that hole. I'm freaking out because my fingerprints is all over that shit. You know what I mean? I got nothing to do with the fucking escape. That's on them, but if they find my fingerprints and test all that shit, they're going to charge me with fucking escape too. You know what I mean? But anyway, they knew who ended up telling on them. They let somebody in their little fucking plan they shouldn't let in their plan. You know what I'm saying? That's how it always goes, right? Then they end up getting a dude down at the shop, furniture shop, for making the zip gun. that was one of my bankers down there holding my money and shit. You know, he was a cool motherfucker, right? So he made him a gun out of the metal and shit like that, the zip gun and shit. So those lifer dudes, whoever the fuck they told everything to whoever the rat about the dude making the gun and all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So a bunch of good dudes got burned up because they told the wrong motherfucker about the escape plan. You know what I'm saying? But it was some serious ass shit, right? They're gonna kill the cops, fucking all kinds of shit. It was a good plan, but they fucked up. They told the wrong person, got ratted on, right? But that's about the escapes I know about when I was in the joint, man. It's pretty crazy shit. All right, guys. Have a good day, man. Peace out, man.